Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you guys. I know it's been a minute. We already know these readings are coming out very, very slow. The energy is just, there's a lot going on, you guys. Today I'm going to do Leo, because I did Cancer last time I did readings. I have been just busy. Crazy stuff happening with my astrology and my chart, with work, and I've been having like leg issues, like really painful sciatica nerve issues and stuff. I think that has something to do with maybe Pluto in my 6th house of Aquarius. So that's just my take on it, but I am starting to feel better. I got some vitamin stuff to help with my circulation and nerve health, so hopefully that helps. Not that this is about me, you guys. I hope you guys are doing well, but I'm just letting you know there's been a lot going on. So thank you for your understanding, thank you for your patience, and thank you for sticking by the channel, and I appreciate you guys. So Leo. Okay, so I've been feeling like a huge shift in even the way I'm doing my readings, my channel. I've been studying a lot. I'm going deeper and more into other things also. I've been working on just learning more about other, going deeper and learning more about other like cultural, like divinatory stuff, like, you know, I Ching. I'm getting into that. I just got a book on that. It's huge, you guys. It's going to take me a long time to learn about this. It's a very but it's pretty neat stuff. I also have gotten a couple more astrology books just to go deeper into my astrology. I plan on hopefully I have, just to let you know a little astrology, my Uranus is going through my 10th house. My 10th house is in Gemini, so that is, and I am a Mercurial ruled person. So I'm meant to be talking, and I know I'm meant to be like communicating, and a lot of it has to do with just this kind of stuff, but also self-help, self-work. I have a huge amount of planets in my 1st house in Virgo, a sign ruled by Mercury, and also a sign of that's known for purification, and I've experienced this in my life. This has all been, so it's really kind of, as much as I thought I knew about astrology and stuff when I was younger, and I made charts and everything, and I could not have went deeper at that time. It was very confusing to go deeper into like everything, but I have been, and it really makes a lot of sense, not even knowing that my chart says what it says. I've lived this out in my life, so without the pre-knowledge of knowing, like, wow, that is me, like that is like my energy. So it's helped me a lot to take this to an astrological, and on top of that, when you're doing tarot, you guys, and you're doing this kind of stuff, it is all connected. So the tarot is connected to energy is connected to the planets are connected to our history, our stories, our legends, our psyche. Everything is connected. Everything's connected, and I just cannot stress how deep into this I'm feeling, you know, like the further study and exploration and curiosity I have about just gaining more knowledge. But I also know, like, in my heart, I am well enough to know, well enough off to know about these energies, because I've been feeling these energies and reading these energies before I even was fully connecting them to the astrology, and now I'm very aware of the connections. So it's part of the growing process. If you're doing something like this, you guys, you go through times where you're like, oh, whoa, like, is this like, you know, it's really interesting, you know. So been getting into a lot of that, just a lot of extra stuff of trying to make use of my time while I'm sitting and relaxing, letting my leg rest. But I was feeling the need to come do a reading today, and I was just looking at the astrology, and right now, Cancer, the moon is in Cancer right now as I'm doing this reading, and it just so happens to be Jupiter is also in Cancer at 15 degrees, and the moon is at 11 degrees. My sun is at 11 degrees in Cancer, so it doesn't surprise me that I want to, and it's also in the 11th house of community, and my shining out and showing of myself to my community, my tribe. This energy is just so, and Leo happens to be my north node also, which, might I say right now, you guys, Leo, you don't have a whole lot going on in your as far as planets and stuff going through, but you do have Mercury, which is communication, all the stuff going through with the communication, messages, learning, you know, this is all it's really neat to get further into the astrology. So if astrology isn't your thing, that's fine. But I do feel this channel, shifting more to an astrological base. Although I do love Oracle and Tarot, I do feel like the astrology is an important part of the energy that I'm picking up on while I'm doing the cards, if that makes sense. I feel like things are meant to come through when they're meant to come through, and that happens to be in alignment with like the planets and all that's happening. I feel like being more open to the connection of all things, it allows you to have a more open mind and have a broader idea, a broader perception. I don't know what the right word is for that. To see things as all connected, which is perfect and perfectly it's perfect. It's so perfect. It's so godly perfect. It's amazing. So, just happens to be that my stuff is being very activated, right now. And also even my work, it's very interesting the way, and all this happens for a reason, you guys. Okay. So I know there's a lot going on in the world right now. I know that's another thing. I did give myself a break from watching coverage and just all the really upsetting things that I see happening with the power dynamics in this country and the imbalance happening in law, justice, our society. So that's a big thing, and I'm really trying not to get on a parade about that, on a rampage about that, because I'm very passionate about that also. And I feel like I have to just kind of allow everybody to be where they're at with these energies and observe what they're observing without my judgment or my input. Even though I can say I strongly disagree with the administration we're dealing with right now, I will say that. I'll say that proudly. I also know that everything's happening for a reason, and we may not understand all the reasoning, but it always gets worse before it gets better. So there's always hope, and if you have faith, hold on to that faith during times like this. So I am going to pull some cards for you guys, Leo. Now that my little rant's over, I hope you guys are doing well. The last reading I did for Cancer was really emphasizing taking care of yourself, and as much as it was an energy at that time of putting yourself before, which is kind of cool, because it was like, as much as you want to be there for the tribe or be part of the movements or the group or the tribe, it's important to know where you stand in your heart and take the time you need to take care of yourself and have fun and feed your spirit, not just the collective. So, and here I have taken a break to really work and stay kind of focused on me. As much as I know everybody right now is just needing support and understanding, we also need to support and understand ourselves. So that is another little message I have for everybody. I'm not sure what kind of changes all of my channel is going to go through. I've already decided to move my camera. We'll see how this works. I don't know. There's just all this weird change energy happening in my life, and I start working 12-hour days, and it's just crazy. Not because I really wanted to, because I kind of was thrown into it, because who else is gonna do it? It's been crazy, you guys. So and on top of that, I'm already having I'm a very, very healthy person, never really had any issues besides some bone spurs in my feet, and all of a sudden I just woke up almost a month ago, and it was just a shooting pain from my rear to my ankle, and it was just bawling. I've had 5 kids with no pain meds, nothing, and this was putting me in tears. Finally it's getting better, you guys, so thank you for any concerns you have, but I am getting better. It's just been I ain't used to not moving fast. I ain't used to having to think about my movements as I'm moving. I just do. I'm just one of those energies that I just go, and I don't think about really what I'm doing. I mean, I know what the plan is, I know what the goal is, I know I will work until I'm done, and that's it. And I've had to slow down, and that's been really mentally and emotionally taxing on me. So, it's kind of, maybe this is happening to more, especially, I'd be curious to find out if you guys if this kind of thing is kind of manifesting in your lives also, just this weird you know, it's kind of a weird, I'm getting kind of forced to slow down. And it was crazy because this last year I had told my daughter, she had a knee injury and she had to go to knee surgery and everything. I said, that's the universe's way of saying slow down, and give you time to heal. And I don't mean just heal your body. I mean, when you're busy in yourself, when you're staying busy and you're working all the time and you're pushing yourself all the time, you ain't taking the time to heal the wounds and heal the things within you, any trauma, anything like that. So sometimes I believe truly in my heart that we're kind of, when we haven't taken time for ourselves, we're kind of forced to sit kind of forced into a place where we really don't have a choice. It's like, I can't really do anything more right now, or I can't move any faster. So you're kind of in a slowdown mode, which gives your brain more time to think, which gives you more time to process and work through whatever it is. So, that's just another thing that I've noticed happening like in my life. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's taking care of themselves. I'm really always glad to be doing a reading again. But I've said this, excuse me, I only do these readings when I'm called to do these readings. I've tried to do them kind of just going, like, I want to get this done from A to Z, get it done, like, get it all done. It's just not how my energy works. So I am going with what I'm naturally guided to do. So I don't want to be forced an unnatural reading of any sort. So, geez, okay, a few minutes there, like 10 minutes of just blah, blah, blah. So, Leo, okay, so I have switched out my decks. I'm not pulling astrology cards for you guys. Like I said, right now the sun is in Leo. Mercury is in Leo at 8 degrees. The part fortune is also in Leo. We're going to get a little soul trees main energy here. Here we go. And it's accomplishment. I love that. Abundance, fullness, satisfaction, and a personal achievement. Getting through something here. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work here. Let's see if I can. Maybe I should move my light. I'm going to have to rearrange this for real. Let's keep it back here a little. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I like to hold the cards up, and it's really dark. Let's see here. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about this when I switched my... Yeah, you can't really see it with that either. Okay, you guys, I'll work on that. But for now, let's just look at this. Okay. It says accomplishment, abundance, fullness, satisfaction, and a period of achievement, a personal achievement. So maybe you've been working on something here, Leo, and you're finally feeling accomplished. You're finally feeling like you're getting to the end of the tunnel. You're finally feeling like, hey, and a personal achievement to me can be a lot of things, but it's usually something like, like a goal you set for yourself. Like, I'm going to be less judgmental, or I'm going to eat less, or I'm going to exercise more, or I'm going to love myself more, or I'm going to see things differently, a personal, like, perception, or a personal judgment, or something very personal to you here that and it could be also like accomplishing something that has like a special place in your heart. Like maybe you've been studying or working really hard on something and you finally are like, I'm done. Like there's a finishing here, a finality to some kind of achievement you've been working on, if this is resonating with you. And it's making you feel full. It's making you feel like, I get that too. Like if, when you're just hungry and just that satisfied feeling when you finally get to sit down and eat, or you're thirsty and you get a drink. It's like that. I'm getting that kind of energy. So whatever this is, it's like something you needed in your life, something you needed to feel accomplished in. This could just be some kind of acknowledgement or validation that you haven't received until you're starting to see it. You're starting to receive it. You're starting to see the abundance of all the hard work you've done on something here. So I do love that, Leo. So we're going to put that right there. All right, so also I'm going to be, I think I'm going to use this deck, the Unifying Consciousness. This is a new deck, so this is the first time I've used it in a reading, so you guys are the lucky number ones. But I just loved I always drew like, so one of my things, okay, I call it like I don't know, every person has this, I think, though. Like when you were a kid, you like drew like a special thing, like a little drawing you always drew, or a little, I kind of feel like it's a crest, like a soul crest or like a soul patch, and it's something that you would just unconsciously knew how to draw and knew it was like something close to you. Mine is, and it's actually hanging on my door. I actually drew it. It's something I always drew when I was a kid. I never quite understood what it meant. But it's almost like a glyph of the soul or something that you like end up, and mine had eyes in it. It had 2 eyes, and a cross in the middle and a peace sign in the middle of the cross. And then it had like clouds on one side with a thunderstorm and sunshine on the other side. And then 2 eyes with like eyelashes with stars on the end. And then like the side of the drawing that is stormy had like teardrops coming out of the eyes. I think there's teardrops coming out of the other eye too. But I would draw it all the time, like on my notebooks. Like that was my doodle. That was my thing. So I think everybody has something like that, whether it's like a little hexagram or like a little like star or like a little tree or whatever. Like I think it was just something I always drew, and I drew it like what I thought was like a really good drawing. And I thought, man, where does this is just, and it just had like the seasons, and I don't know, it's just one of those things, you guys, that's important to me. So I saw this eye on this, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this deck because I love it, and I believe it is about higher consciousness. I believe it's always been about higher consciousness, and I believe that was kind of a pre-sign of kind of where I was going to be, where I was energetically, where I am, with the cross in the middle, symbolizing peace through religious symbolism or religious cultures. I study all different kinds. I believe in peace. I believe in peace between all different belief systems and all different, and so that was like where the peace sign came in the middle of the cross. Although I am, in America, Western culture, and Jesus is, the cross is a huge, and I used to have crosses, a lot of crosses, when I was a kid. It's like I always knew in my heart, like Jesus was like a great messenger, and that I needed to like somehow, and I never really, my parents, we weren't church people. I did go to a few youth groups just because there was friends there and it was fun, but I wasn't really like raised religiously or anything. But I prayed a lot, which is interesting. I always knew there was somebody, or I won't say somebody, I always knew I was being heard and I was loved and I was listened to, or I was received somewhere. So that's kind of another little side note. Sorry for all the talking, you guys. This has been a minute, and obviously Mercury's in Leo right now, so maybe you guys are feeling jibber jabbery too. Oh, I love that. 4 cups. These are really pretty. So you can see in this 4 cups, he's sitting under a tree praying, speaking of praying. And there is a feeling of wanting something better, wanting something more, and the divine offering it to you. This is, I'm doing my tea spread, so this would be like what you have recently been doing is really gathering yourself, maybe praying yourself, maybe realizing that you want something more, you want to be more of something, or you want to accomplish more. Ace of Wands. And it looks like it's something passionate. It looks like so this is feeling a lot. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful deck, you guys. The Unifying Consciousness Tarot. Lori Little. And it's not spelled like Little. It's like, yeah, this is really pretty. This Ace of Wands is the center of the top here. So it's like, hey, I was praying, I was feeling unfulfilled. And here we have at the top of your reading, abundance, fullness. This is not fullness. This is praying for something to make you feel full, something to make you feel better. This stuff isn't making you feel better. It isn't making you, so we want something more. And this is that, and I love the way this is depicted with the prayer here. As I was talking about this, like you always pray when, I've learned to pray even when I'm not praying for anything. I just pray for others, and I give thanks. But I used to, like a lot of young people, pray when I'm hard up or when I'm like, I need help, but now I'm like, hey, thank you. Now I have a lot to say thank you for helping me all those times. I just wanted help and I never said thank you, and I never, so this is really wanting and calling in that help, and the divine is there offering it to you. This would be a past energy. If it's not, it's a general reading, you guys. If you're just at this point where you are looking to receive something bigger or something more fulfilling in your life, something more fulfilling, something more that gives you more satisfaction in life, whether this is, and these are cups, so this is something that's emotionally fulfilling and satisfying, makes you feel good, and feels it connects. It feels good in the mind, it feels good in the heart. Then we got the Ace of Wands, and it seems to be something passionate here, something that relights your fire. This can be feeling dull, I don't want to say dead inside, but it can be feeling like very stagnant, very unsatisfied, very bland, so you're like, gosh, I just need something to light me up here. I just need something that excites me again, something that gives me that spark, something that brings that fire back into my life, that spark, that desire, that curiosity, that excitement. And here it is, the Ace of Wands right here in the middle, you guys. I love that. So wherever you are in this reading, if this is resonating with you, this is beautiful. This is a brand spanking new something, an opportunity that's arriving for you, divinely sent, to relight your fire, to rekindle your desires, your curiosities, your excitement, maybe your sense of belonging or filling, where you don't feel like stagnant or lost. And this can also be using things that just don't work for you to make you feel like emotionally satisfied, and they just aren't working. Like this can be overindulgence, this can be over intoxication. It can be like, man, I need help. This stuff is not making me happy. It's making me feel dead inside. It's making me feel, I know that sounds like really harsh and like blunt, but this could be where you were at if this is your reading and it resonates, and you are like, I need help out of this, Lord, and like, I don't want to sit here with these emotions and these solutions, or not solutions, these distractions to these emotions, or these escapisms to these emotions, in my channel, you guys, I talk a lot about addiction and recovery and all that, because I've been there. To me, this can be a card of just being like, hey, I'm admitting, I'm surrendering that none of this is making me happy. As a matter of fact, I'm miserable, and I need something, Lord, to bring me passion and strength and fire and desire, and get my spirit. So the Wands to me has always been very fiery, spirited energy, and this is the beginning of some spirited, fiery energy entering your life, divinely sent. Always with the Aces, it's some little spark, something that just goes, oh, okay, and it just can bring you out of it. But you got to embrace it, and you got to look at it as what it is, which is a gift from an opportunity, a gift from the divine, from God, from the universe, however you want to look at it, you guys. But yes, it's definitely there, right here in the center of what's happening here. And then we'll get to the root here. This T spreads like past, kind of present, but like I said, it depends on where you're at in this. You could be already past the prayer point, past the crying, the releasing, the surrendering, to saying this stuff isn't working for me anymore, you could be at this receiving, you could be seeing this divine spark in your life, something exciting you, something lighting you up. Maybe it's something new you want to study, maybe it's an opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do that you haven't been able to do, something like that. Anything. This can be anything with the Ace of Wands. It's just something that just rekindles something that felt like, it can be an awakening, it can be a wake up moment where you're like, oh, I've been numb, I've been asleep. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. This is a brand new, and not only is this a spirited gift, and this is a new, this is the Ace of Pentacles. This is also material. It's also this spirited energy, this divine gift coming in, or has come in, or is coming in for you this almost feels like being saved. It feels like, hey, look at this. This is going to make you feel so much better. This could be your connection to your own divine spark, your own divine creativity, and then being able to purposefully plant that and utilize that spirit, that curiosity, that desire, that passion in an earthly material way. So the Ace of Pentacles also is a new opportunity. This could be something very material that you're getting too, like a new job or a new place to live, or there's an opportunity here that's just a change you need. I'm feeling like if you're getting some kind of opportunity, or some kind of messages coming in for you saying, hey, we have this opening, or we have this place open, or here's a chance to go do this, or would you like to join us in this or this? This is kind of saying, there's something being sent to you, and it's there for you, and it's going to help bring you from a place, or it already has if you've just passed this point, and now there's this opportunity to feel not only ignited in the soul about life, but also established in the material, also in the physical. So this, and physical can be anything, you guys. It doesn't just have to be money. It can be your body. It can be, you know, a new, oh, and I love the sacred geometry on the pentacle. You know, I do think about DNA. I think about purification. I think about all that when I see these connections. So that is really beautiful. Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, you guys. Whew. That is really nice. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, we got the Soul of Wands in the heart of this, and it was reversed. So, okay, interesting. So the Soul of Wands, I think the Soul is the page in this deck. I'm gonna just check because this is a very new deck. I'm just gonna look here. Yeah, the Soul of Wands is the page. Yes. So, and so there could be a little bit of, in your heart, you could be feeling like not curious, not so be mindful right now if something is presenting itself to you, like an opportunity or a new anything, studying something new, looking at something new. Somebody says, hey, have you ever thought about this way? Or hey, keep everything in sight right now, because there's something here being offered to you that can help relight something inside you that's not felt alive, not felt active for a while. It's like an activation, and it's going to lead to an opportunity for that physical gain too. So it's physical and spiritual. And we got the Soul of Wands. So, you know, you may be feeling skeptical. You may be feeling not enthusiastic. You may be feeling not so fiery about a situation that is being offered to you. You may be having doubts in your, you may be doubting. Also, it's interesting because this fox, you know, I love the fox, but this looks like a fox to me. Actually, I'm just going to look at this here. It says, oh, you have to allow yourself freedom. Okay, so this doesn't give a reversed meaning, but it did come out reversed. So my reverse meaning for this is a lack of enthusiasm, or a lack of feeling a lack of confidence or curiosity about a situation or about something that is being shown to you or presented to you, or it lights a spark for a minute and then you shut it down. Don't shut down something if it's starting to feel fiery inside. Allow yourself the freedom and the curiosity to explore whatever is kind of stirring and waking you up inside. Okay, wow, this is a really I'm gonna read this because this is a new deck, and I don't usually read the book, especially for readings. Like, I've kind of flipped through it because I just go more for the images, and I'm more like intuitive. But that fox always kind of can be deemed as tricky, so you can even be feeling like, oh, this is like too good to be true, or it's tricky energy, and it could be challenging. It could be challenging energy, but I feel like it's something you should take on, whatever this is. It says, you're fast, sleek, and hard to catch. You're a flitting light, a glimpse of foxfire. So it is a fox. It says, then on to your next adventure. And also, okay, enjoy your cleverness and confidence and go after whatever sparks your imagination. That is what I'm feeling like. Something's, but you may be doubting it. You may be thinking, it's not enough, or it's not good enough, or it's not creative enough, or it's crazy, or whatever you're telling yourself to shut down this spark of imagination and the spark of curiosity or adventure. I feel like this is leading you somewhere good. You got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles after the Four of Cups energy. Nothing says, hey, look up, look at this, stop. It's been answered. Like, look, boom, boom, like aces, opportunity after opportunity. So let's go ahead and finish reading this. This is neat. Be curious, playful, and cocky. Get into some mischief. You might get caught or reprimanded for your tricks and pranks, but you're so charming that the punishment will be tempered with laughter. So this is describing the page energy in an interesting way. I don't feel like the page, I mean, I'm always a positive, I don't try to look at anything like, I love the fox. I think it's resourceful. And there is a resourcefulness and where other people could see the fox as like a scavenger or a trash digger or something. It's like, I can find treasure in anything and everything. So there might be something here that other people might be like, well, that's crazy, or that's out there idea, or that's not going to work, or something like that. And you're like, but I got tricks up my sleeve. That's kind of more the energy I'm getting. It says, you will be tempered with laughter and allowances for your youth and youthful behavior, and to be sparky, be spunky, embrace that spunky, fiery part of your heart that this wand is lighting up for you. There's something, some kind of something coming in here that's very energetic, very spirited, lighting up your mind, lighting up your heart, and you might be having some hesitation about it. It says this can be a time of freedom and exploration. Take it. Yeah, so if this means like breaking like the norm, or in which I think it did say like get playful, you might get reprimanded, you know, like if this means like losing your job, or like, hey, you got an opportunity to take a vacation but you're going to get rode up, or hey, I got this great idea, and you know, maybe there's some minor like consequences to it, but for your soul this feels like really important, and it feels very like spirited action. I am feeling that. And it also says learn everything you can, figure a few things out, be a kid. So do a little research, look more into whatever this idea or this spark, this divine spark is that's getting lit up inside of you, because there's an opportunity here, maybe to make money, maybe to relocate, or something in the, I mean, a new lease on your health, your home, your finances, something like that. This is really, could be just a creative endeavor that seems like, you know, like, but you're like, I think this is an idea. Like, that's what I'm getting. It says, if this is someone else in your life, in this reading, I don't usually do things like readings for other people in your life. Now, this may fit somebody in your life who you've given the idea to them. You've seen somebody in this situation, and you may be saying, hey, I got a great idea. And they're like, no, that's, you know, if that is the case, it says, this is a child or someone who wants to be one. Very creative, engaging presence. Someone who can bring adventure and fun into your life. So this may be about a person who's lighting something up inside of you. Also, I do these readings for you, not really other people. You may be able to reverse this to, hey, I'm that person, but maybe I'm not jumping in there as much as I should, or maybe I'm not. But I'm kind of getting, if this is a person besides you having questions or doubts about what is sparking, what's lighting you up, if it is another person, you may be feeling like they're like it's a tricky situation, but it's still saying this is a engaging presence, so brings adventure and fun into your life. You may be thinking, oh, you know, but maybe it's just what you need, even if it only lasts a day, even if it only lasts a week, even if it doesn't matter, a year, a month. If this is like a little adventure that your soul is on with a person, I feel like it's something you may need to engage in, even if there's a feeling here of like, that's just, you know, there's going to be consequences. And it says, you know, there could be some consequences. I don't know what this means, but I don't know. The activation is a little mischief is good for my soul. I feel like this could be like not being traditional about something, thinking outside the box about something, something like that, you guys. It's very, very neat. I love that. So let's see what's at the bottom of this. The root. Emperor. Yes. Okay. Woo. Hold on 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got the Emperor, you guys. This is an interesting Emperor card. So, at the root. So what I'm getting from this is you may be the type of person that has a strong structure in your life, but it's maybe drove you to a point of dullness or blandness or stagnation. But the good thing about the Emperor is he's the one in control. So at the root of this, maybe you have a lot of responsibility. Maybe it's piled on you. Maybe it's been weighing on you. Maybe you're ready to change something in your life right now. But there's a lot going on around you that's changing, and you're trying to kind of control the way things are changing or behaving. But in this card, this birch, it's a birch branch, and it says in the book that the birch branch is flexible, and the Emperor can be flexible, not just break when things are changing or shifting. So there might be something here happening where you want to make a change or shift in your life, or it's just something's being introduced into your being where you're like, oh yeah, that sounds like an amazing change or an amazing shift, and I'd love to do that, but I have so much to do here, or so many responsibilities here, or I want to control like every detail. The Soul of Wands with reverse, it's like that's coming together with that Emperor really nicely, because it was just basically saying, I don't want to be curious. I don't want to be a little, break the Emperor's rules, break the traditional, you know, it's not even, yeah, it is traditional. I look at the Emperor very like structured, where the Soul of Wands is just curious and fiery and passionate and can be a little mischievous. And in the rigid Emperor's eyes, the Soul of Wands is probably like a worst nightmare because this one wants to go in and stir the pot and make things different and change things up and create something different, do something different with, because it's exciting. Where this one's like, if it's working, don't but who's it working for? The thing about the Emperor is, in shadow, the Emperor only wants to work for themselves. And in not shadow, the Emperor is like, make sure what you're doing, the changes you're making, make sure the adventure or the creative endeavor that you're on helps others too, not just you. So if you're having some doubts or some questions about where your energy is kind of being pulled, ask yourself, is it just to serve me, or is it gonna, is this energy going to benefit everybody? Is this idea going to benefit everybody? Or is it just purely for me? You know, that's another thing. If you're having any doubts or questions about some kind of opportunity or shift in your own energy that you're having, where you're feeling like all of a sudden pulled towards something maybe that you either don't have control over because you're like, I don't know what it's going to be when I get there, but I'm being pulled in that direction and I'm kind of curious about it, and I kind of want to be free to make that choice for myself and go in that direction because it feels exciting. I do feel like, you know, you are the one in control here. But if this, at the root of this, is somebody else that is in the Emperor position, and you are the Soul of Wands, and you're like, I can't, you know, I don't want to shake, you know, I don't want to shake up the system here, shake up the foundation of what's built here. But yet there's been a lot of sadness. There's been a lot of, you've asked for help. You've asked for divine intervention, and it's here. So if this is your reading, you have to make the choice, though, to take control over your own mind and your own passions and desires and curiosities, and be willing to shake up something that's stable, maybe, or feels stable, to bring some excitement or passion into something. You know, to awaken something. You know, this could be you trying to bring some kind of new energy into a situation. This could be just you needing a new energy in your life that you need to embrace and not be afraid to shake the boat a little, rattle the branches a little. The Emperor is flexible. It emphasizes that, you know, if this Emperor is if this is somebody else, this Emperor can be flexible, and, you know, which means, you know, you're not going to just, most likely, unless this is an Emperor that's just rigid and off with their heads if they're not doing it my way, it's adaptable. Now, if this is you, you're adaptable, but you got to change your idea of maybe what stability is. If stability is worth stagnation, and possibly, like I said, it feels like the Four of Cups can feel like dead inside. It can feel very like non-passionate and blah blah blah, like going through the motions, like miserable. You know, we all been here in our lives where it feels miserable. It's like, God, I'm so tired of just going through the motions, you know. So that's when I always pull out like my poem books and start, you know, rewriting or reorganizing my stuff, and I get into my dream again, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have this published, or, you know, or I start reading and learning about a new subject to rekindle something that I feel like I've not been feeding. So you could have been in a situation here where there wasn't a whole lot of room to explore or be creative, and it just kind of felt like business as usual every day. And I feel like this is the time for you to break out of that business as usual every day, or that control, whether this is you controlling or something around you controlling. It's time to turn this kind of apprehensive, doubting, kind of, I don't want to say it's bad to be cautious, because it's good to be cautious and conscientious of the moves you're making. But, you know, when it's upside down, there isn't a whole lot being done at all. It's just not exploring. It's staying in one place. It's completely, and by exploring, I don't just mean physical exploration, though we do have the Ace of Pentacles here. I mean that spiritual exploration of what truly lights you up inside. That part of us, when we make it dormant, when we shove it down, when we don't honor it, when we don't reflect on it, when we don't think about it, we just shove it away because it doesn't fit in the box. It doesn't fit in this. We need to know that this is flexible. We can, if this is us trying to have all the control in our life, we can be flexible. We need to look at things differently. Is it worth having all this structure and knowingness if we don't have excitement, or we don't have, we think we got it figured out when there could be something that could make something better here? There's a lot to this reading, you guys. I know it's a lot. So that is what I got for your guys' cards. We also got the Seven of Pentacles reversed on the bottom. So there could be something here. And obviously, if you've been putting a lot of work and stuff into some kind of control or structure, and it's just hasn't been working, and you're not seeing results, and you're not seeing anything coming about from it, maybe you've gotten the great idea that you need to shake the box a little, rock and rattle and roll the dice a little, and take some chances here to step out of kind of a maybe a situation or a job or a place that just feels like it's not producing what you're putting into it, or it's just not the place you want to put your energy anymore because you're not feeling that it's producing the happiness you thought it would, the pleasure you thought it would, the security, emotional, mental, deep security you thought it would, and you found that I'm still missing something here. There's just a feeling here of it not producing, something here not producing what you intended on it. So maybe it's time to be more flexible. Maybe it's time to not be so apprehensive or scared or sketched out about a new plan or a new idea or a whole new endeavor, even if it seems out there a little. Okay, that is what I'm getting. Awesome. So I do want to get, okay, so I pulled out this deck. This was, I took off the old decks. I want to get one of these, and I'm going to read. Do I have that book out here? Yes. I just, Phalarkos Tarot. Carmen Sorrenti. This is an old deck I've had, but I just love the writing in it, and I just want to get one card here, and then I'm going to read it, and then we're going to get a couple oracles for you guys, and that will be your reading. All right, this is a wonderful reading, though, you guys. This is exciting. 2 aces, the Emperor at the bottom, like, wow. The only thing is this doubt or this lack of wanting to step outside the rules or the comfort zone and like stir things up a little in your life. Like this is what it's going to require. Okay, what do we got? The Sun. Wow, you guys, the Sun. We know that Leo, the planet, dreamer of wings too, on the bottom. Okay, so the Sun, it has this crow in it, and the Sun we know is Leo's planet, and the Sun rules Leo. Let's go to the Sun, and it's one of the most wonderful energies in the major arcana. And it always, to me, does say security and safety and happiness and also clarity. I see the Sun as seeing things clearly also. And this crow also kind of speaks to me as seeing clearly, but not just with the eyes, also knowing clearly who you are also and where you're supposed to be putting your energy. Our Sun, like if your Sun is a Leo, which if you're watching this and like, hey, I'm a Leo Sun, or I'm a Leo rising, or I'm a Leo moon, or whatever, that's the energy. Your Sun specifically is the energy that's meant for others to be seen. It's where our most valuable resource, it's one of our most valuable things we can give to people. Kind of like the Sun gives us heat and light, and without all that we don't have food. It's that nourishment, it's that soul. It's also like looked at as without the Sun, we're not alive. We would die. Like all the crops would die. We would die. We need vitamins that we get from the Sun. This is all necessity. So it's necessary for you to shine your light, your Sun, Leo, which is also about following your heart and being courageous and taking chances, even if it makes you stand out like a sore thumb, even if it means you're not blending into something right now. If you're feeling like you're getting pulled kind of out of something and towards something right now, really, really listen to what your heart's saying. Let's go ahead and read this. I just love the way these are worded. And it says, take your song to Apollo, for he is the essence of the light. This is how the story goes. He was born on Delos, an island aptly named the Unconcealed One. It used to be a barren perch with no name and no fixed placement. A wanderer in a stormy, windy waves till the birth. In the inner heart lies the gold, and we have learned to conceal it, to hide it. Something, maybe we're not shining, and we're not shining that light as bright as we need to. Make Delos. Here's a quest encouraging you to find the hidden elixir, the unconcealed one. The unconcealed one. It surges you upwards into an elated world, now bright with substance. Give yourself to the inner marriage. Whatever you do in this life, find your essence and be true to it. Wow, that is really nice, you guys. Find your essence. Essence. Oh, and be true to it in life, in your material world too. Even if your essence is curious, even if your essence doesn't fit in that box, it's okay. Okay, I love that for you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get one of these shaman, the mystical shaman. I almost forgot. I had this one a long time too. This is a great oracle deck, you guys. I love it. Let's see. We got the curse. Ooh. Okay, this is an interesting. There we go. Wow. This almost, every time I see this, like intuitively, I get this message of like being silenced, okay, of not being able to speak about something, or not being able to stand up for something, or not being able to express yourself in some way. That's just that hand over that mouth just always just sends me that message. It doesn't matter what the reading's about. I always get that, and it usually has something to do with being silenced or keeping yourself silenced. Don't fall into the traps, whether these are ancestral traps or whatever, but we are going to read it. It did come in upright, and this oracle does give, it's really a nice oracle, you guys. It's called I've had it for years. This was actually a first. I think they redid the editions since then, but this was a first edition, and I've used the heck out of it too. What year did this come out? It has beautiful artwork too. Not that you guys probably care, but I'm just curious. I'm not sure if it says. It's not saying like right on the top page. Oh, here it is in the back. Published in Australia by Hay House. It's not really giving the date though. But yeah, it's a pretty older deck, but I'm telling you, it's timeless. Like, it has great, so let's go ahead and read this 14. And it's on every time. Like, whether it's reversed or upright, it'll even tell you to stop asking questions if you're too curious, basically. If you're trying to dig too much, it'll be like, stop digging. Like, go, you're not meant to know everything. I love that. Okay, so the essence of this card is the curse. Refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is the source of negative patterns, and it can show up as disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. And there is a blockage of creative energy here. So this could be something you're really trying to break through, something that's been passed down to you, something that you've been taught ain't right to express or something. And there's just something you're being called forward to embrace about your soul, your sun, your essence. Oh, this is beautiful, you guys. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. What are you telling yourself, Leo? You don't belong there. You don't need to stand out. You need to stay in the box. What's the story? Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. Whether that original wound was your parents just saying, well, even if you overheard like people in your life, maybe not even your parents, maybe it was just like a societal thing too. Right now we're dealing with a lot of outer planets, and we're dealing with a lot of societal conditioning that it's time to break out of, and call it what it is, which is psychological and sociological like conditioning to bring more power to certain people or places or businesses and take power away from others. Now, does it mean that this energy always means to do that, like in nature? No, there's just energies that evolve. And I think right now is a time for you, Leo, to really see what is holding you back. Is it something you overheard when you were young that stuck with you as true when it's not? Is it something you were told? Is it something you were taught? Is it the way you are afraid to be seen in life, in your village, in your community, in public, whatever? There's something here that wants to be spoken, wants to be expressed, and you're holding it back by this reading. And it's confirming again and again that it's time for your sun to shine. If you've been feeling depressed or held back or numbing yourself into this place of, oh, it doesn't matter what I feel or what I think or what I am or who I am or what I want. It's time to stop telling yourself those stories, those things that aren't true. So the invitation, which is what it is when it's upright, and then if it were to come out upside down, it would be the medicine, but it came in upright. So it says, it is a time to recognize the source of your limitations. So there's something that is the source of your limitations, whether this is a belief, whether this is your environment, whether this is a teaching that your brain or your heart has clung onto and you need to go through a purification process. It says, did your grandparents live with a mindset of scarcity? Did they believe that they would never have enough? Or everybody, like you'd never be on top of it, never have enough, or always feel a lack, or always feel, victimization can be another thing where we always feel victimized, or we always feel poor, or we always feel like we're not enough, or we're not going to have enough, or we're not enough. This is all scarcity-minded thinking. It says, did you inherit genes for heart disease? And it did bring up, it can show up as disease, a destructive force, or blockage of our creative energy. So if you are dealing with some kind of health ailment here, it says, were you a slave or a master in a past life? This karmic legacy is ready and wanting to be seen, to be untangled and to be released. Honor the players and their stories. Forgive everyone and everything. Craft a new life course for yourself. So if you've been under the influence, and that can be this too, like under the influence, and it doesn't necessarily have to be actual physical alcohol or drugs or anything. This can be like being under the influence of emotional, and psychological, intoxication of something. This is thinking these things are going to make me happy, but they just don't. There's something here that's personal and it's deep. This goes way deeper than just you. If this is your reading, Leo, you have to untangle yourself from the karmic nature of this issue or of this belief or of this responsibility or dedication. I also look at this a lot like Ten of Wands stuff. It's stuff that's been passed down to us. It's stuff that we may not realize it's not ours to carry. It's ours to release after we realize it's not ours to carry, and then forgive and release. And also when it pointed out, were you a slave or a slave owner in a past life? Or it used that as a kind of a metaphor. It's like realizing who you're working for, and are you free or are you trapped? Are you keeping yourself trapped? Or are you fighting for your freedom? I am getting that kind of energy with your guys' reading where there's a need to stand up for your curiosity, your adventure, your free spirit, where maybe you haven't been taught or shown even that that's okay. So that is a really big energy, you guys. I'm going to set that right up there. Okay, let's go ahead and get one of these. I love these. Where is the book to that? Well, I did have it. Oh my lord. Maybe I put it in here. Hold on, guys. I don't know why I don't have that book out here. That's weird. I usually have all my books all ready to go. And I'm just curious. Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, I'm such a doofus. Okay, so I did have it out. I forgot when I rearranged my desk. I cleaned up my area last reading, and I was just like, put it up here because I use this deck a lot. And I'm like, I might as well just put it out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get you guys a white light oracle card. Ooh. Okay. Well. Okay, we had one that turned right side, one flipped right side up, and one flipped upside down. So I'm going to take the one that flipped right side up. This is definitely, and we might take a peek at that one, but I definitely know this one is meant to be seen. Maybe this one's not. But I'm a curious person also, but it's Obadiah. Obadiah. Let's look. 3. Oh. 3, 3, 3. Love the number 3. Interesting. Okay. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate. Trust what your heart is telling you. I was feeling this. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to our human collective. Obadiah is the Latin basis for the word obedience, far from conforming to authority. The original meaning was to listen, to hear, and not to turn away. I was feeling like you're getting called forward on something here, and you may be not willing, maybe because of this curse energy or this karmic energy. You may be feeling like, oh, I can't do that, I can't. It's saying if you're feeling like some hesitation, or you're feeling like, I don't know if this is stable, I don't know if this is safe, I don't know if this is right. I feel like this is just another message confirming that you are protected and you are being pulled or drawn towards a direction. It says the Oracle of Obadiah is about becoming a sacred rebel, giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of the spirit. That is what I'm feeling with that Emperor energy and that Wands energy. I don't ever like to encourage people to be like rebellious, but if you know you're helping others and you know you're not just doing it for your own selfish gains, it can affect a lot of people around you. When they see a leader acting as a leader, even if it's changing things and they aren't used to it, and they're like, oh my goodness, like, why is all like changes are hard, but in the long run, as long as you're following your own rules, even if you're changing the game or you're changing the situation or you're changing the work environment or you're changing something in your life, and you stick to your foundation, your rules, your truth, your true beliefs, your true nature, that's a good leader, and you're leading by example. That means refusing to torture yourself with horror stories that society and your own mind conjure up from time to time. This guidance is encouraging you to connect through your heart with the spiritual light, wisdom, and guidance within. The Oracle asks you to believe in the power of spirit to show you the way through all troubles. There is a message from our loving universe for you. You will feel it in your own heart. I love this. This Oracle asks us to get out of our own way. Often we make things more difficult for ourselves, even when our intentions are good. This is because we see things from a limited or partial perspective. That did come in. This doesn't mean we should refuse to act at all. It just means that as we practice sensing and following spirit, so if you're in the process of trying to follow and listen to your guidance, to your messages, to follow and do this wisely. All right, so it says, sorry about the interruption. I got a phone call real quick, guys. It says our actions are more, it says this doesn't mean we should refuse to act at all. It just means that we practice sensing and following spirit by tuning into our heart. We will act from more centered and wisely guided place. Our actions will be more likely to hit the mark. So before you take action, make sure you're running it through your heart first. Make sure you're filling it out, filling the messages out, filling the guidance out. Recognizing that spirit is wiser than your own personal opinion is the prelude to true awakening. The more awakened we are, the more genuine benefit for all beings can unfold through our endeavors. I love that. So something is totally guiding you into something that might feel unfamiliar or out of the box, or like you're stirring a pot, or like you're switching things up. But I feel like it's being divinely guided, and I feel like you may not understand or see the whole picture, but just to move, I will say cautiously, but also to not sit still and stagnant on whatever this idea or this opportunity is, or this spark of energy or messages you're getting. To be clear, the guidance of this oracle is not to hand over your power, nor to seek out spirit to tell you what to do. It is always up to you, Emperor, to exercise your free will and live your life as you choose. Sometimes the responsibility behind such freedom might seem too much. But this is our task as human beings, to own our freedom and exercise it with wisdom and delight. When you trust your courage more than your doubt, You will be ready to listen to spirit and act on what you perceive. You will be capable, willing, and ready to live as a light on this earth. You are also encouraged to ditch the drug of doubt. Doubt undermines your confidence and sends you on a mission to gain approval before making every decision. Approval can become the hit that alleviates doubt. Temporarily, not permanently. You have to just know you're doing the right thing for you. But it prevents you from building the strength you need to listen for your own spiritual knowing. You have it within you to be spiritually sovereign. This oracle asks you to recognize your inner potential and to practice trusting yourself and your capacity to respond to life's unpredictable happenings with soul-honoring integrity. I love that. I love that. So I do want to just, do not turn away from your path nor from what you know in your heart to be true. I love that. I love that. I love that. Obadiah. Huh, interesting. So I had to turn it over. The other card was, I can never pronounce this right. Yeshi Zoigel. I never say it right, but this is a card. It's also 3. You got a lot of threes just in these two cards. It was 3 and then 33. And this is Yeshi Zoigel 333. So these are also about frequencies, light frequencies, sound frequencies. 333. This is 33. That may be something to keep your eyes peeled for. Repeating 3s. You can always look up your angel numbers if you happen to notice something at a time and you look over at the clock, or look up the Bible verse, turn it to a page of a book. I might even go to the book and go to 33 for you guys. It says you shall overcome all obstacles. So if you're worried about running into problems or obstacles as you're following your heart, your spirit, your guides, success is imminent. So stay connected to your path no matter what and continue to apply yourself. Allow your spiritual path to support you in all areas of your life. Live by your spiritual beliefs, not the beliefs your ancestors handed down to you, not the way society makes you feel when you state your beliefs or speak your beliefs. Does not mean hold back. This means to stand forward and shine. Follow your beliefs. Seek out the support of your spiritual brothers and sisters for help when needed, but also trust that you are intimately and directly connected to the powerful divine light within. There can be a dramatic healing breakthrough when you rely upon your spiritual connection. So this is really feeling like, follow your guidance right now. If you are getting guided to something here and it just feels like you're thinking this is just too much, or it just doesn't fit into this, or it's really saying you need to listen to your heart right now, Leo. And Leo, you're the courageous heart, and it can be rebellious, where you got Aquarius on the opposite side of your sign. Leo's about standing out, and it may be uncomfortable if, like, for instance, my South Node is in Aquarius and my North Node's in Leo, and it's been very uncomfortable, like being seen, if that makes sense, or being vulnerable, vulnerable with my truth, vulnerable with my insights, my thoughts, and my feelings. But it is liberating to not always just be quiet or stand back when I have something to say, or I believe in something that everybody else maybe isn't seeing or doesn't believe. But that's what you're being guided to do something here. We got the Flower of Life from the Spiral Oracle. I love this oracle. So I will read this. Flower of Life. I find myself staring at the mirror and I see the illusion of the reflected image. Within me, I observe human beings creating superficial lives, lies, and chaos. I choose to step out of my own trap. I was feeling that trap earlier, like the curse, the trap, with infinite compassion. So if you've been in it, just show yourself compassion and understanding, and those who kept you in the trap, or unbeknowingly or knowingly, it doesn't matter. The point is you see it now. You're having a awakening. You're realizing something. You're getting out of it. You're getting out of the trap. You're breaking the curse. You're breaking the ancestral conditioning or the societal conditioning of something so that you can be in alignment with your heart, Leo. It says, nothing is constant. I tell myself, everything changes with time. Cells multiply, my body grows old, leaves fall, and movement of my consciousness constantly changes. There is no immutable being. The Flower of Life reveals to me the secret of the circle, capable of generating, from its very simplicity, the most beautiful creation. When I'm capable of reconnecting with essence, with my essence, I manifest a great beauty. Now I understand. I discard layers and return to myself. I transform myself. Transform is the key. I have a key to the unknown within me. That key is my own alchemy. I have all the tools I need, and ancient knowledge dwells in me, the universal memory. Thanks to this information, I transcend my blockages. Yes, you'll go over your blockages, obstacles, Obadiah. There is some obstacles here. There is some things that are going to feel like maybe you're getting smacked on the wrist a little, or, you might be shunned a little, or you might get told whatever a little, but you're going to overcome that. You're going to overcome any resistance in your path, as long as you are following your heart and your guidance and following your spirit. It says, thanks to this information, I transcend my blockages. And that there was a blockage. There's a blockage with creative power and energy and curiosity, and also that kind of childlike, explorative, adventurous, kind of wild fox energy in the middle. That was the only card that was reversed in your spread. It says, and I turn them into gifts. So transcending the blockages and pain and turning them into gifts for the planet. I love, love, love that for you guys. Okay, Leo, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. It's so accomplishment. Don't forget about that first card we pulled. Accomplishment, abundance, fullness, satisfaction, and a personal achievement. This is something you may have been working on for a long time here, is really listening to and honoring your calling, your heart, your soul, aligning with it. It takes time to align ourselves with what we already know about ourselves, because we have to get through like all these mind blockages and teachings, and maybe criticism, maybe other things that happen when we start standing in our own. And it may not agree with everybody, but that doesn't mean it's not beneficial for everybody. So let's get a quote real quick for you guys. Quote for Leo. And I'm gonna have to put these two together, because when I paused it just shut the video off, so I'm gonna have to. Ooh, I love this. Oh, as I was saying, that it's beneficial to others also, even though we may feel like they might not see that. A lot of times this happens in our life, where we have a conflict or controversy with people, or we stand up for something we believe in, and people are just like, okay, but it's good for people to see that leadership and see that stance in society, in life, so that they go, oh, it's okay, or talk about their addiction, or talk about their failures. This is something I know I've been doing in my life, kind of being not even purposeful, but it's just part of my energy, is talking about the shame attached to our humanity for growing and making mistakes and bad choices. How do we accept that about ourselves and each other if we aren't honest about our journey, and we aren't honest about like our growth too? Because you can't be really honest about how you've gotten to where you are without saying, hey, this was a huge part of what molded me. This is a huge part of what I wanted to change about myself, or this is why. It's this very blunt energy that I know it needs to be kind of exercised in your life right now. But it's compassionate, it's understanding, but it's also firm. It says a new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. A new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move towards higher levels. Albert Einstein said that. I love that. So, I think you're part of this here, this Leo energy. Wherever you have Leo in your chart, you guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be your sun or ascendant. I do say check out your ascendant reading, check out your sun reading, check out your moon reading, check out all that, because these energies this is the tarot. I can talk about the astrology, but also look at your charts, see what's going on, see where Leo's at in your chart. If you are not a Leo sun, or if you are a Leo sun, which house is it happening in? Because that's where you're kind of being guided to shine and take on a courageous and brave and authentic path, even if it's unpopular, even if it's not the norm or societally accepted at the time. You may be being asked to be a lion, be it. So I love that for you guys, Leo. Thank you guys again for coming and watching the reading. Thanks for standing by my channel. If you have stayed by my channel through all my breaks, because I take a lot of them and I need them. So I always appreciate, just the dedication and the showing up, just people showing up and not giving up, you know, in life, but also on other people. You know, people don't just like give up on me because I take a break and I don't do readings for a month or 2 months. They're like still there. It still amazes me that I still have subscribers. Sometimes I'm like, what? Like, where, like, how? Like, I haven't done a video, so, you know, I don't like to apologize for taking those breaks because I need those breaks, and I would never want you to apologize if you needed a break also, or you needed to, you know, we should not apologize for what we know we are doing to honor our own energy, you guys. So honor your energy, stand by those who you know are you, also just same as you. So, you know, if we want something, we give that to others. So there is very, very powerful energy in your guys' reading today. It does feel like it's going to take a little shakeup, you know. There might be some shakeups going on here, like in your life, some aspects maybe with Uranus even happening with your Leo placement, wherever that's at in your chart. Mercury is in Leo right now, so that is about that communication. So maybe we're all being asked to say some things or stand up for some things that we believe in that maybe societally we haven't been taught is okay or doesn't fit in the box. But there's a lot to this, you guys. So I'm just here doing these readings, you know, telling you like what I get over here. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I appreciate you guys. As always, have a good day, and I will talk to you later.